Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly, and this movie was fucking awesome. It was just a great movie to watch, and it understood what it was. An action movie, a Dragon Ball movie. It has kind of a simple plot, but that doesn't mean it's kind of like stupid or anything. There's stupid things in it, but that's because of characters, not just plot reasons. It's well executed because the plot doesn't get in the way of the action, which you're there for to see the crazy and insane things that these characters can get into. And holy crap, they did a phenomenal job with this. So, this movie starts out and we're 41 years in the past. This is when planet Vegeta, the home planet of the Saiyans, is still intact. And we see that King Cold and Frieza are coming to inspect the Saiyans and all that and do their usual kind of evil shit. So, of course, King Vegeta, Vegeta's father, goes out to meet them and he kind of grits his teeth and bears it. King Cold announces that Frieza is going to take over and that his force will then turn into the Frieza Force and that they will answer directly to him. And, of course, Frieza's gloating over that fact, saying that he's brought a gift of these new and advanced scouters and uses one immediately to see, like, 3 Saiyan assassins that are at various points around having sightlines to him, and immediately kills them and just kind of, like, gloats that he could do that. Of course, King Vegeta doesn't like this, and then goes off to kind of inspect his son and see how he's doing, because Vegeta's a baby at this point, and in one of the incubation kind of pods that they've got. And it's a little bit different than what we've seen in other kind of movies. In this one, Vegeta is up by himself, but I mean, there's certain other ones that are powerful ones as well. But King Vegeta believes that his son will be the one to kind of take out Frieza and all the rest of them, and then instead have them be in power. So essentially, he's trying to be exactly like King Cold and Frieza and take over the universe that kind of way. Now, granted, they don't get that kind of far, but you can see the seeds of that. And as he's leaving, he's wondering why this low-level warrior baby, Broly, is there. And they're like, well, he has vast battle potential, battle power. And then they try and do that, and it breaks machines, and then they do it again, and they see that it's really low. And of course, King Vegeta doesn't like that, and decides to send off Broly to this planet Vampa, which is really inhospitable. There's no intelligent life there. And Saiyans, as the warrior race that they are usually sent to claim planets for sale. This one wouldn't make much sense to do that. But of course, Paragus, Broly's father, gets wind of this and tries to reason with King Vegeta, but he's like, listen, he could go crazy one day and would be a liability, so whatever, I sent him off. And if you say any other word, I'll kill you, and it doesn't matter, I already sent him off. And it was like, holy shit, villain that doesn't monologue while the plane's in motion. Interesting. So, Paragus then steals a ship, and tries to get there to make sure that his son's alive, and that he can get him out. He kind of takes a Saiyan along with him because he was working on the ship, and get there, and the planet's really weird. They kind of get there, and they're trying to figure out where Broly is, and the daytime is a little bit better, but the nighttime has vast winds and everything. It's almost like in the Chronicles of Riddick. At one time, that planet where now granted, it's kind of switched from what was going on in the Chronicles of Riddick, because on that planet, it was super hot on one side and super cold on the other. This one kind of has the same effect, is that the sunnier side is really warm, but yet kind of stable, whereas the dark side has vast storms going on. Well, they get crashed, they do find Broly, and he transformed into a great ape and killed some bugs that were there, and he was like eating one of them to survive. But of course, they find that their ship is too heavily damaged, and Paragus decides to kill the other Saiyan, and they kind of are just trying to survive. We switch back to Planet Vegeta, and we see Bardock is coming in. Now, granted, this is like 5 years later or whatnot. Still in the past timeline. and Bardock and his Saiyan compatriot are coming in, and I really liked what they did with Bardock here. Granted, it still kind of fit along the lines of what we had seen in other kind of media, but it was interesting to see how he was. He's still kind of the Saiyan warrior kind of dude, but he doesn't come off as arrogant. He understands that Frieza has a boot on the neck of the Saiyan race and is wondering what he is doing calling everybody here. And of course, he was asking about Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God, linking that back to Beerus, which was a cool touch. And they're going in, and we see that the lower caste, even though they're thought of as lesser, have a nice kind of community going. They're not completely bloodthirsty savages as like Frieza and other kind of races would paint them. They are a warrior race, as we've seen with Goku and Vegeta in the present. But it seems that what we've seen with Goku and Vegeta seem to be kind of more of the norm than rather the outlier. So it's kind of cool seeing that kind of dynamic down there. Well, he gets there, we see Goku's mother, and it's really kind of cool. And we see him in his like little pod, and Bardock's like, alright, tonight we're going to send him off because I have a bad feeling about what Frieza's doing. And of course, his wife's asking him why he's doing this. And I'm like, well, I've spent a lot of time destroying things. Maybe I want to save something for once. I was like, wow. It's really kind of nice to get that kind of character development, even if it's like short-lived, out of these kind of legendary figures that we've seen in Dragon Ball lore. And it's like, wow, okay, that's kind of cool. And we see little baby Goku, like, wanting to be with his parents, and Bardock actually had a very good idea with this. He took a pod, he's like, listen, if my fears are unfounded, doesn't matter, I'm going to send them to Earth, they're a primitive species, and there's not a lot of high power levels there. If this turns out to be nothing, I can just go and get him back. And if it does turn out to be something, he'll be safe there. And seeing Goku just being like, I want to, like, lots of his parents and everything, reaching out his hand, like, and Bardock touching the pod was really kind of cool. Gives it even more of that kind of Superman kind of connection where I'll send off my son and everything, and he sends him off. Frieza destroys the planet. We get everybody getting the information. Vegeta and Raditz with Nappa. Seeing a young Nappa have some kind of hair was kind of cool. And they're like, holy shit. And of course, Frieza's response, well, his news narrative that he was putting out was that a meteor had destroyed Planet Vegeta, but even some of the Saiyans were like, why didn't we detect it? Okay. We switch over to present day, we see Goku and Vegeta sparring on this private island, and Beerus and Whis are with them, and Bulma and Bulla, and they're just freaking going at it. And it was really kind of awesome, and we start switching over to more of the plot going on. And we see that some of the Frieza Force, well, not like the main ones, but this group with this one woman, Chile, are looking around for higher power level people because since Frieza's alive again after the Tournament of Power, he kind of destroyed all the, well, not all the Frieza Force, but a good chunk of it, and they have to go and recruit, and they get to Vampa and find Paragus and Broly, and they decide to take them to Lord Frieza, and Frieza's happy with this, and this kind of aligns with his plan that he wants to get the Dragon Balls, because Trunks had called Bulma, and someone had stolen the 6 of the Dragon Balls, and was going for the 7th. So this is kind of the course that we're going on. We see that Chile and her companion are getting kind of more information on Paragus and Broly, and Broly is, he's not a complete just tool at the moment, but his father does use him as a tool because he wants to use him for vengeance. Frieza talks about how Vegeta is still alive and he wants that revenge. He has this kind of electroshock collar around Broly to keep him under control, and we see him use that in the mess hall as one of the Frieza Force people tries to make a move on Chile, and he pretty much gets ready to kill him, but Paragus shocks him with the collar, and Chile then secretly takes the controller out and destroys it, so that way Broly can be kind of free of that. And they kind of get talking with him. He's like, yeah, he doesn't really know that much about food, because all he's done is like done fresh kills and eaten food that way. It's funny seeing him eat the food the first time when they're getting on their way to Lord Frieza, as Chile kind of gives him this power thing. He's like, oh yeah. And Paragus is reminding him to say thank you and everything like that. And that's not kind of out of the realm of ordinary because he was sent before he had much social skills. And of course, the only other social interaction he has is with his father Paragus. It's like, oh, okay. And it's kind of cool seeing that kind of come into fruition. This is kind of as if Goku had like landed on a planet and hadn't interacted with any people. This is kind of how he would be. And I think that's an interesting way to look at Broly and how they developed him here. He's like, what's this? Water? Wow, he hasn't even had water before because of what that planet is. And of course he's remarking on that fur thing he's got. He's like, no, this is from my friend. And he relates this really sad story because we see this giant kind of fur monster that is in kind of symbiosis with the giant bugs on the planet, and that for training he would fight this thing and try to dodge it before it tried to eat him. But then they got into this kind of playful thing, and he considered him a friend. But his father didn't like that and decided to blast off one of the ears, and that thing that he's got wrapped around him is his ear. And it's like, holy shit, that's sad. I'm like, oh damn. But we then see that the Dragon Balls have become the issue. Bulma was gathering them because she wanted to look 5 years younger. Whis asked why she didn't go for 10 because she thought that would look unnatural, which then lines up to why Frieza is wanting the Dragon Balls. It's funny because you're thinking, does he want to be immortal? And the thing is, he brings up, no, I don't want to be immortal because I've been in hell, and being alive like that with no kind of change is hell for him. That has become one of his new things. Like, wow, that's interesting character development. They're going through all these things, and Frieza wants the Dragon Balls to be 5 centimeters taller. And his reasoning is, instead of like going for any other height, because then it would look unnatural, and doing it that way would make it look like he's still growing. These are stupid reasons, but these are character reasons, and the important bit is these are character reasons that are driving the plot. It isn't plot that is forcing the characters to act this way. Frieza always has had a complex about his height. Bulma has always had a complex about how youthful she looks. And it's so in character and just works so well. So, the last Dragon Ball is in the Arctic region, and of course, Goku and pals are able to get there right as they're getting it, and they're trying to get off to get to Lord Frieza, but Frieza pops up, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll use Paragus and Broly, and thus begins the climactic fight as Frieza's kind of gloating, holding all the Dragon Balls, and doesn't use them right away. Instead, having Broly go off and attack, and Broly is freaking beastly. It's crazy. Now, he's more of a bruiser because of his size, but he doesn't start out gigantic. He actually doesn't even start out not being able to go Super Saiyan, which is kind of crazy because during the fight, of course, Vegeta's like holding his own first. Then a great part of this movie is how they focus on transformations. I loved what they were able to do. We show Vegeta first going Super Saiyan, and Paragus is like, oh my god, what have I done? I'm going to get my son killed for this. And seeing him kind of go through that. This movie is like an hour and 41 minutes, but we see a lot of character development and just arcs going on. It's like Paragus, like, oh my god, I'm going to lose my son. And I specifically defied King Vegeta and Frieza to make sure that my son lived, and I'm using him as a tool to kind of just die. It's wrong. And I'm like, holy shit. And granted, he doesn't say any of this, but it's like, and it's more focused on the action, but it's like, holy shit. And of course, he's trying to like shock him, but he doesn't have it. He's like, oh my god. Of course, Chile and her friend are watching this like, holy crap. We see Vegeta go Super Saiyan and start like really getting into it with Broly, and then he goes Super Saiyan God, and it's like, holy crap. And just how they go through it is just awesome. But of course, Broly is getting angrier and angrier and bigger, and Paragus starts explaining that he had to cut off Broly's tail because he kept turning into a great ape. But even though that occurred, he is still able to tap into the great ape strength and everything while in human form. We see his eyes going gold iris, kind of similar to Super Saiyan 4. And he keeps going throughout. It's his own kind of different way to do it. I'm like, that's gonna be kind of cool if like Goku and Vegeta go into that route at some point. And it's actually a really good explanation for why Broly is able to get bigger as the fight's going on. He's using that kind of great ape kind of strength, and that of course could force him to get bigger and bigger since he can't really turn into that great ape. It still kind of affects his growth and his strength for his body to keep getting bigger and bigger because that's the kind of source he's drawing upon. So Vegeta kind of starts getting knocked around, and of course that's when Goku says, hey, I kind of want my turn. And at first he's in his base form, and then he of course does his Super Saiyan transformation and gets to Super Saiyan God as well, and actually gets to a point where he's like, listen, I know this isn't what you want. He's trying to talk Broly down and make him calm. And I'm like, this is why Goku's great. That kind of compassion that's really great with when you're comparing him to like Superman. He knows that Broly doesn't want to hurt anybody or whatnot, and that this isn't really what he wants. And Goku is not willing to outright kill someone who isn't really doing bad intentions, like Frieza or Cell or Kid Buu. He understands how to make that, and just highlighting that with Goku, with how he was able to stop him, was great. But of course, Broly still just goes up and then gets even stronger and essentially hulks Goku, like from the Avengers, picks him up kind of like Loki, and is just bashing the shit out of him. And it's horrible to watch, and the animation is just crazy because you see the pain and everything as Goku's screaming in agony and getting just beaten down. And the craziness that happens as they're like shifting between the 2D and the CGI, which is just as good as certain video game stuff that I'd seen with it. Is alright. But Goku gets beaten to the point where he just decides to pull out Super Saiyan Blue, and I fucking love this transformation. I mean, I'd seen it, but like, seen it in the theater, seen him go Super Saiyan, and then call upon the God power, and what was going on with that, and you also see see him get a green kind of aura as well. Ooh, okay, as he goes to Super Saiyan Blue, but that's still not strong enough. And mind you, at this point, it's when the polar cap is starting to pretty much get melted into magma and all that. But it's getting to a point where he's just like starting to take Broly down. And Frieza then gets the idea, like, okay, how about I kill Paragus to make him go Super Saiyan? And he does that. He's like, oh, a stray energy bolt killed your father. And then Broly goes Super Saiyan while in this enraged, like, Great Ape mode, and then just starts taking out Goku. And, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Of course, Goku had communed with Piccolo at that point. He's like, I might have to come to you at some point. Now, they didn't bring any senzu beans or any of that. So Goku gets an idea, kind of flies off and grabs Vegeta, and pretty much has Frieza take care of Broly. Like, hey, why don't you keep him company for a little bit as they go to Piccolo. And it's hilarious because it is an amazing plot choice to do that. Because it works with Goku's character and just work with, oh, Frieza made an oopsie, and now he's going to have to deal with it. And Broly beat the shit out of him. And he has to go gold to even kind of survive against his onslaught. Of course, Goku and Vegeta are like, listen, we need to, like, get this down and get this settled out. We got to do the fusion dance. And this works out because then we get to see the failed fusion dance for the 30 minutes that they're allowed. We see, like, the fat Gogeta and the skinny Gogeta. But it's not like, oh, would Broly sit there? No, of course. He's dealing with Frieza, and Frieza's dealing with him like, oh god. And of course, Chile's like, this isn't good. They're going to kill him. And formulates her own plan to get the Dragon Balls. Now, granted, that's kind of a little bit later, but that's kind of seeding in. They, of course, successfully do the fusion dance, and we see Gogeta as canon, and it's fucking awesome. And it's just like, alright, yeah. Trying to figure out the name, goes off, and god, the fight between Gogeta and Broly is fucking epic. We've seen him go down and eventually see Gogeta go Super Saiyan Blue and using all these different kind of energy attacks. Him and Broly's fight is so titanic and epic that they like go into another dimension at one point and so like beating around. It's like, holy shit! But they get to a point where he's pretty much getting ready to unleash an ultimate Kamehameha attack on him. And Chile summons Shenron and asks him to save Broly and send him back to Planet Vampa, which he does, and that kinda lets it out. Nobody got to use the Dragon Balls. They're sent off to other realm, to the corners of the earth, and he's like, damn it. Kinda goes away, and holy shit, of course, Chile and her friend go off to, like, well, we're fugitives now, and decide to go live with Broly. It's like, oh, that's cool that they be friends like that. Oh, and Whis was also kind of in there as well, kind of keeping Broly busy. But it was funny because he wasn't really even fighting Broly. Whis is on a completely other level. He's just like dodging and all that. And then, of course, they got Broly to fight Frieza. That was just a good part. Oh, and of course, Beerus is babysitting Bull at this point, and he's just back on that island. It's like, oh god, it's great. And he's like, well, at least that ended all right. I didn't have to really get involved or anything. And Bull was just like, hey, Uncle Beerus. Oh. Oh. But we get there, we get Chile and her friend, and they're like, all right, yeah. They thought that they really needed only a couple, like, limited food or all that, but they're like, oh, okay. Broly is giving them kind of the bug stuff. Like, oh, this is going to be bad. But guess who shows up? Goku with like food and everything. Of course, Chile is really wary about him. And like, no, here's stuff, here's food and everything for you. And he just likes Broly and wants to spar with him and all that. And Broly doesn't immediately go into his Berserker Rage mode, but he seems really intrigued by Goku. And I'm like, oh god, Goku and Broly being friends would be fucking awesome. And just like, just another rival for another level for Goku to come to and hopefully at some point surpass is just like, all right. And Broly is even up for that as well. Like, yeah. Chile, of course, is like, no, you're probably, no. Just here's food for you guys and everything. Here's a house. She's like, that'll probably close up when you're gone or one. Like, no, I can find you wherever. Like, where's your ship? No, I can, even if you move to another planet, I'll be able to find you guys because of Broly's energy and all that. He's like, yeah, you can call me, and she's like, what do we call you? Oh, you can call me Goku and Broly. You can call me Kakarot. And it's like, all right, that's kind of cool. Trading Saiyan names and everything. It was just titanic and epic. The music was great. Voice acting was awesome. Chile's voice actress, I didn't really have a problem with, but I could see that it would be annoying to certain people, mainly just because of how it is and kind of how her character is. I didn't have that much of an issue with her, but I like that her and her friend kind of became supporting characters to Broly and kind of like help him acclimate a little more, have more friends and everything. Yeah, and then of course get him to be friends with Goku. And it was just the usual kind of Dragon Ball plot, well executed, well done, and it was serious enough but didn't take itself too seriously. I mean, the main conceit was that two of the characters wanted to just do stupid vanity stuff for themselves with the Dragon Balls. And then, of course, we get into the seriousness of it when Broly is uncontrolled. And they have to figure out how to do that. And I liked how they solved it. I can't wait to see where the next series will go and what the next movies will be. And I'm like, this is another great example of just a great animated movie. I'd put it along with the greats of like the Cowboy Bebop movie. Now, granted, I usually tend to like more of the hand-drawn stuff, but they executed the CGI very well. It didn't take you out of it. It's like, okay, yes, this is a natural extension of the Dragon Ball usual fighting style. Yeah, that's good. And when it's done poorly is usually when I have the problem with it. And here, oh, it's so great. And hopefully, with how well this movie is doing, it starts to get into more theaters so people are like, yeah, okay, you like this? Let's have it so that way more people can see it. And I just can't wait to see what happens with this franchise going forward. So, those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.